Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about something that can radically transform your life, but it requires effort, discipline, and commitment. I want to talk about the power of forcing yourself to challenge yourself every single day. There's a saying that growth comes from discomfort, and there's truth in that. The greatest victories in life don't come from staying in your comfort zone. They come from pushing yourself beyond what you thought you were capable of. The key to unlocking your potential is this: challenge yourself every day. So let's dive into why this is so critical. Growth doesn't come from the easy path. It doesn't come from the comfortable, the familiar, or the safe. No, true growth comes from the pressure, from the struggle, from the discomfort. Much like a diamond is formed deep within the earth under immense pressure, your character, your strength, and your success are all shaped in the same way. Without pressure, without challenge, there can be no transformation. Think for a moment about your own life. What do you want to become? What kind of person do you want to be 5, 10, or 20 years from now? Do you think that version of yourself, that strong, successful, confident person, will have been built by avoiding difficulty? No. That person will have been forged in the fire of hard work, in the tension of tough decisions, and through the pressure of facing the unknown. Every day that you choose to step into discomfort, you're actively molding yourself into the person you're meant to become. It's easy to get caught up in the illusion that growth should come effortlessly, that success should just fall into your lap. But I'm here to tell you, growth doesn't happen by accident. It's a deliberate act. It requires you to make decisions, to push yourself, and to take actions that feel difficult. Every time you face a challenge, whether it's a tough conversation, a difficult task, or a new situation, you're putting yourself in the position to grow. You've heard the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's a bit cliche, but it's also true. Every time you face a challenge head on and get through it, you become a little stronger. Your resilience grows, your wisdom deepens. You learn new skills, new ways of thinking, and you discover strength you never knew you had. That's how growth works. It's in the struggle. It's in the moments that feel hardest that you learn the most about who you are and what you're capable of. Think about the times in your life when you've grown the most. I bet they weren't the times when everything was going smoothly. No, they were the moments when you were pushed, when you had to fight for what you wanted, when you had to deal with hardship and adversity. Those are the moments that shape your character, that test your limits, and that show you what you're truly made of. But here's the catch. Growth doesn't happen without you embracing that pressure. It doesn't happen if you run from it or hide from it. You have to step into it, lean into it, and trust that it's doing its work. It might feel uncomfortable. It might feel like too much at times, but remember, without pressure, there is no growth. Without discomfort, you stay the same. If you want to become the person you're capable of being, you have to learn to embrace the pressure, to face the challenges head on, and to trust the process. You can't become who you're meant to be by taking the easy road. The person you want to become will only emerge through the hard work, the pressure, and the challenges you face every single day. So step up, face the pressure, and allow yourself to grow. Too many of us are obsessed with waiting for the big moment, the breakthrough that will change everything. We dream of that one opportunity that will take us to the top, the big deal that will finally make us successful. But the truth is, success doesn't come from those rare moments. Success comes from the small, everyday challenges that we face and conquer consistently. The secret to greatness is in the small decisions we make every day, the ones that seem insignificant, but over time add up to extraordinary results. Think about it. Every day you're faced with choices. Choices that are easy to ignore, to skip, or to put off. Should I wake up early or hit snooze? Should I push through the extra set of reps or settle for good enough? Should I read another chapter or call it a night? It's those little decisions that matter. They may seem small, but they have a compounding effect. It's the small challenges, the things you do day after day, that create lasting change. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results. Maybe you set a goal to get stronger, but after a few days, the progress doesn't seem significant. You might do a push-up today and think, is this really making a difference? The answer is yes, but only if you keep going. One push-up won't change everything, but 2, or 5 or 10. Those add up. And if you keep pushing, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. It's not about the one push-up, it's about the consistency, the daily challenges that build upon each other. Success is the same way. It's not about one massive breakthrough that magically changes everything. It's about the accumulation of small steps that you take every single day. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it, doing the work even when it's hard, and staying disciplined when you're tempted to quit. Those small challenges might not feel like much in the moment, but over time they create momentum, and that momentum will carry you further than you ever imagined. Don't wait for the big dramatic moment to make a change. The key is in the small things, the small challenges you face every day, the discipline to push yourself just a little harder than the day before. Success is built on consistency, not on one grand achievement. And the beauty of it is, you're in control. You have the power to create your success by taking on the small challenges every single day. Look at the person you want to become. Do you think they're waiting for some huge opportunity to come knocking at their door? No, they're building their success one small challenge at a time. They're taking on the little decisions that most people ignore, pushing through the discomfort and getting just a little bit better every day. And over time, that adds up to something extraordinary. So don't overlook the small challenges. Embrace them. Take them on with enthusiasm, knowing that each one is a step towards something bigger. The real power lies in those small, consistent actions. Keep pushing, keep growing, and watch as those small challenges lead you to the success you've always dreamed of. There's a unique power that comes from facing a challenge head-on, from pushing through the fear, the discomfort, and the uncertainty. It's a power that stays with you long after the challenge is over. Every time you choose to step up and do something difficult, no matter how small or large, you build your confidence. It's not about whether you succeed or fail in the moment, it's about the courage you showed, the decision to step into the discomfort and do it anyway. That's where real confidence is born. When you know that you didn't run from the challenge, that you stood tall and faced it. Think about it. Confidence isn't something you're just born with. It's not something that magically appears overnight. Confidence is built piece by piece through the actions you take and the challenges you overcome. When you push yourself to do something difficult, when you go beyond what feels comfortable, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. And with every step forward, no matter the outcome, you grow stronger, braver, and more confident in your abilities. It doesn't matter if you succeed or fail. What matters is that you showed up and did the work. What matters is that you didn't shy away from the challenge, that you didn't let fear or doubt hold you back. It's not about getting it right every time. It's about taking action, showing up, and putting in the effort. The more you challenge yourself, the more you realize that you can handle whatever comes your way. You begin to see that the things that once seemed impossible are now within your reach. You build a trust in yourself that nothing else can give you. That trust is the foundation of lasting confidence. Too many people sit on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect conditions to act. But let me tell you, confidence doesn't come from sitting back and watching life pass you by. It comes from taking action, from doing the hard things even when you don't feel ready. It comes from showing up day in and day out and giving it your all. When you do that, you start to build a kind of confidence that isn't fragile or fleeting. You build a confidence that's grounded in your own experience, in knowing that you've faced the challenge and given it everything you have. Real confidence is unshakable because it's not built on external validation or circumstances. It's built on the internal knowledge that you have the strength, the grit, and the determination to overcome anything. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to prove that to yourself. And the more you face, the more you grow, and the more confident you become. So, the next time you're faced with a challenge, don't shy away from it. Don't let fear dictate your actions. Embrace the discomfort, take the step, and know that with each challenge you conquer, you're building a confidence that will carry you through every obstacle life throws your way. Confidence isn't something you find, it's something you build, one challenge at a time. Comfort is a deceiver. It wraps itself around you like a warm blanket, making you feel safe, secure, and content. It whispers in your ear, telling you that you don't need to change, that you don't need to push yourself, that everything is fine just as it is. But let me tell you, comfort is the enemy of progress. It tricks you into thinking that you're okay, but in reality, it's holding you back from becoming the person you're meant to be. You see, growth doesn't happen in comfort. It doesn't happen when you're sitting on the couch binge watching your favorite show or going through the motions of a day that's too predictable. No, growth happens when you step outside of your comfort zone, when you challenge yourself to do things that make you uneasy, that make you stretch, and that make you confront the parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore. It happens when you choose to face discomfort, when you decide that your potential is worth more than staying safe. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you're choosing stagnation over progress. You're telling yourself that staying where you are is good enough, that you don't need to grow any further, and that the status quo is acceptable. But deep down, you know it's not. You know that there's more inside of you waiting to be unleashed. More strength, more capability, more brilliance than you've allowed yourself to tap into. The problem is that comfort keeps you in a cage, convincing you that you're already doing well enough. But in truth, it's that very comfort that's keeping you from reaching your true potential. Think about the times in your life when you've made the most progress. I bet they weren't the times when you were comfortable. No, they were the moments when you stepped up, when you did the hard work, when you took the risk, and when you faced the fear. It was in those moments that you grew, that you found out what you were truly capable of. Those moments weren't easy, but they were necessary. And that's where progress is made. On the other side of discomfort. Where does this comfort feel comfortable sometimes? Scott Maunder. And the only way to feel that way is through the discomfort. You have a choice every single day to choose comfort or to choose progress. It's easy to stay in the familiar, to do what's easy, to keep living your life as it is. But if you're serious about growth, if you're serious about reaching your potential, then you have to challenge yourself. You have to push beyond the boundaries of what feels comfortable and reach for what's uncomfortable, what's unknown, what's going to stretch you and force you to rise to the occasion. Comfort might feel good in the moment, but it's an illusion. It promises ease, but it delivers nothing but stagnation. If you want to grow, if you want to become the person you're capable of being, then you have to get uncomfortable. You have to choose progress over comfort. So the next time comfort calls to you, remember, comfort is the enemy of progress, and the only way to move forward is to step beyond it. Fear is an unavoidable part of the journey. Every step toward growth, every challenge you take on will come with a dose of fear, whether it's the fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough, or the fear of making mistakes. Fear will show up, and let me tell you, that's okay. Fear is not a sign that you should turn back or stop in your tracks. In fact, fear is often the very thing that signals you're on the edge of something bigger, something greater than where you are right now. Think about it. Every time you've stepped up to a new challenge, there's been fear. The fear of doing something you've never done before, the fear of the unknown, the fear of failure. But fear doesn't have to stop you. In fact, it shouldn't. It can either paralyze you or propel you forward. The choice is yours. Fear is not your enemy. It's your fuel. When you feel that fear, instead of running from it, let it push you. Let it drive you to keep moving forward. Fear doesn't mean you should quit. It means you're about to do something important. It means you're about to step into new territory, about to take a leap that will lead to growth. I'm not going to lie to you and say that fear will disappear as you grow. It won't. The truth is, the bigger the goals you set, the bigger the challenges you face, the bigger the fear you'll encounter. But here's the secret. Fear is never going to disappear. It's going to be there every time you push yourself to be better, to go further, to do something more than you thought you could. So stop waiting for fear to go away. It's not going anywhere. The real question is, how will you respond to it? The key to success isn't about eliminating fear. It's about learning to live with it, to move forward with it. You don't need to wait for fear to disappear before you take action. If you wait for that perfect moment when you feel completely fearless, you'll never take the first step. Instead, embrace the fear, walk through it, push yourself despite it. Every time you face your fear head on, you build the courage to do it again and again. And that courage is what drives you, what keeps you moving when things get tough, what fuels your perseverance through the hard times. The more you challenge yourself, the more you face fear, the stronger you become. Each time you push through, you build resilience. You grow stronger in your belief that you can handle whatever comes your way. That's where success is found, on the other side of fear. Success doesn't come by avoiding fear. It comes by confronting it, embracing it, and continuing on despite it. And each time you do, you're one step closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. So the next time fear shows up, don't run from it. Don't let it stop you. Let it fuel your journey. Let it push you forward. Fear is not here to stop you. It's here to show you that you're growing. Embrace the fear and keep going. The courage you build by facing it every day will be the very thing that propels you toward your success. Progress doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen just because you have great ideas or big dreams. Progress happens because you develop the discipline to show up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the driving force behind every step forward, every ounce of growth. It's the ability to make the right choices, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Discipline is what separates those who dream from those who actually achieve. You don't need to be perfect to make progress. That's not the point. Discipline isn't about being flawless. It's about being consistent. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when the motivation is low, even when the path is difficult, and even when you'd rather do something else. It's about showing up when your mind is telling you to stay home, when the distractions are calling your name, and when the road ahead looks tough. That's where discipline comes in. It's the strength to keep going, to keep moving forward, no matter the circumstances. Without discipline, no matter how big your dreams or how powerful your vision, you won't get very far. Dreams and intentions are wonderful, but without action, they remain nothing more than fantasies. It's easy to get excited at the start of something new, to set goals and make plans. But real progress doesn't come from good intentions. It comes from the daily work, the daily commitment to showing up, to pushing through the obstacles, to choosing what's difficult over what's easy. That's where the difference is made. Think about it. How many times have you started something with great enthusiasm only to let it slip away when things got hard? Maybe you set a fitness goal, or you promised yourself you'd work on that project every day. But when the initial excitement faded, the motivation dipped, and the hard days set in, it became easier to let those commitments fall to the side. But when you build discipline, you build the ability to keep going, even when the motivation isn't there. You push yourself to show up anyway. And that's when real progress starts to take shape. Discipline is what turns a wish into reality. It's the steady, consistent effort that compounds over time, that turns small actions into big results. And it's not about getting it perfect every time. It's about making the decision to do the work, to face the discomfort, and to challenge yourself consistently. When you push yourself every day, when you make discipline a habit, you build momentum. And once that momentum starts, nothing can stop you. The magic of progress doesn't happen when you feel like it. It happens when you don't feel like it. It happens when you push yourself beyond what's comfortable, beyond what's easy. It happens when you choose to be disciplined no matter the circumstances. That's when you begin to move forward. So ask yourself today, are you ready to build the discipline that will fuel your progress? Are you ready to show up even when it's hard? Because if you do, that's when the magic happens. That's when you start seeing real, lasting change. Real success isn't built on a single great effort. It's built on the steady, consistent actions you take day after day, even when no one is watching. The greatest achievements don't come from those moments of inspiration that you might have once in a while. They come from the small, seemingly insignificant actions that you choose to take every single day, no matter how tired you are, no matter how tough things get. It's easy to be motivated when you feel like it, but real success comes when you choose to show up when you don't feel like it. Think about it. Anything of real value in life requires time, persistence, and dedication. You don't build a legacy with one big event or a flash of brilliance. You build it by showing up consistently, doing the work, and making progress every day. Those small actions, when repeated over time, are what eventually compound into something truly remarkable. It's the daily grind that pays off in the long run. And while it may not seem like much today, it all adds up. Picture a seed planted in the ground. At first, it doesn't look like much. It's small, it's buried, and it seems to be going nowhere. But with consistent care, with the right environment, and with time, that seed begins to grow. The progress is slow at first. You might not see the results right away, and it might feel like nothing is happening. But eventually, that seed starts to sprout. And with continued consistency, it becomes a mighty tree. The magic happens in the consistency. The care given day in and day out. Your growth works the same way. At first, the results may be small. You might not see the fruits of your labor right away, and there will be times when you feel like giving up. But just like that seed, you're growing in ways that you can't always see in the moment. With each challenge you face, with each decision to push forward, you're laying the foundation for something bigger. Over time, those small daily efforts build the character, the skills, and the resilience necessary to achieve greatness. Consistency is the secret that separates those who achieve their goals from those who merely dream about them. Success doesn't come from big, dramatic bursts of effort. It comes from doing the right things consistently, even when it doesn't feel rewarding in the moment. The real magic of life is in those daily commitments. Every time you get up and do what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it, you're adding another piece to the puzzle. The real power lies in the choices you make every single day. So challenge yourself to show up. Challenge yourself to take those small steps, to make those daily actions count. You won't always feel motivated. It won't always be easy, but when you stay consistent, that's when you begin to see the magic unfold. Those small actions taken daily will eventually lead to something extraordinary. It's the compound effect of consistency that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Keep showing up, keep doing the work, and let the magic of consistency transform your life. Every one of us has limits that we've imposed on ourselves whether we're aware of them or not. These limits aren't always visible, but they are powerful. They are the voices in our head that tell us we're not good enough, that we can't do something, or that we're not ready. And the worst part is, we start believing those stories. We start living within those boundaries, believing that we've reached our full potential, when in reality, those limits are nothing more than self-imposed barriers that we've built over time. The truth is, you're capable of far more than you give yourself credit for. Every time you tell yourself, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, you are accepting a story that isn't true. You're accepting a lie that has been fed to you over time by your own doubts, by others' opinions, or by past failures. But none of these things define you. The only thing that defines your potential is you. You have the power to break through those limits, to tear down the walls you've built around yourself, and to step into a new version of who you are meant to be. The only way to break through these limits is by challenging yourself every day. When you force yourself to step out of your comfort zone, when you push yourself to take action despite the fear, despite the doubts, you are doing more than just facing the task at hand. You are breaking through the self-imposed limits that have kept you stuck. Each challenge, no matter how big or small, is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. And it's not about being perfect. It's about moving forward. It's about taking one step at a time, even when you feel uncertain. Each time you choose to face a challenge, to take that uncomfortable step, you expand your potential. With every obstacle you overcome, you are stretching the boundaries of what you thought you could do. You're building a new foundation, one that is stronger and more resilient than the one you had before. It's time to stop letting your fears, your doubts, and your past mistakes define your future. It's time to recognize that you are in control of your limits. You are the one who decides whether those walls stay up or whether they come down. Every day that you challenge yourself, you take down a little more of that wall, you break through another limit, and you get closer to the person you were always meant to become. The most amazing part about breaking through these self-imposed limits is the way it changes you. When you face a challenge and come out the other side stronger, you don't just change the way you see the world. You change the way you see yourself. You prove to yourself that you're capable of more. And once you've broken through one limit, you start to realize that the possibilities are endless. So start today. Challenge yourself. push yourself, to go beyond what you think you can do. Break through those walls. You are capable of so much more than you've allowed yourself to believe. Each challenge you face will help you become a stronger, more confident, and more unstoppable version of yourself. And in the end, that's what truly matters. Not the limits you once had, but the incredible person you become when you break through them. You don't have to walk this road alone. The truth is, the people you choose to surround yourself with will determine the direction you go and the heights you reach. You don't just need people who will cheer you on when things are easy. You need people who will challenge you when it's hard. People who will push you beyond what you think you can do. People who will hold you accountable even when it's uncomfortable. You need those who will ask more of you than you ask of yourself, because those are the people who will help you grow into the person you're meant to be. Look at the people around you. Are they the ones who inspire you to stretch your limits, to reach for more, to give more than what's required? Or are they the ones who allow you to settle, to coast, to become comfortable with mediocrity? If you want to grow, if you want to challenge yourself daily, if you want to step into the best version of yourself, you have to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who expect greatness from you. You see, it's not enough to just be around people who are nice to you or who tell you that everything is okay. You need people who demand more from you, people who push you to be your very best, who won't let you off the hook when you get lazy, complacent, or comfortable. It's said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Let that sink in for a moment. If you surround yourself with people who are content with where they are, who never push themselves beyond their limits, you will inevitably find yourself in the same position. But if you surround yourself with people who are hungry for success, who are constantly challenging themselves to grow, who are doing the work even when it's hard, you'll find yourself doing the same. You'll start to raise your standards because you'll see the example set by those around you. And you'll realize that there is so much more you're capable of. Don't settle for a group that merely supports you when things are easy. Real growth comes when you're faced with those who won't let you take the easy way out, who will remind you of your potential when you forget it. These are the people who challenge you to show up, to work harder, to reach higher, to be more disciplined, more courageous, more focused. They see something in you that you may not see in yourself yet, and they won't stop pushing you until you see it too. If you want to reach the next level, you have to surround yourself with those who challenge you to do so. They'll help you break through your limitations, shatter your comfort zone, and make you realize that the only boundaries are the ones you've placed on yourself. The people you surround yourself with will either push you toward greatness or pull you back into complacency. Choose wisely, because your future depends on the environment you create around you. The right people will hold you accountable, challenge you to be better, and push you to achieve the greatness you're capable of. Don't settle for anything less. When you commit to challenging yourself every day, you're not just taking steps toward your goals, you're creating something much more powerful. At first, it feels like you're not getting anywhere. The road is long and the progress seems so small that it's almost invisible. You might wonder, am I really moving forward? But here's the truth. The progress you make when you challenge yourself daily is like a seed being planted in the ground. You might not see the growth right away, but over time, the roots grow deeper and the foundation gets stronger. That's momentum in action. Momentum is a force that can't be underestimated. It's the snowball effect in its purest form. It starts slow, sometimes barely noticeable, but with every effort you make, it picks up speed. The more consistently you challenge yourself, the more momentum you create, and the harder it becomes to stop. What started as a small push eventually turns into an unstoppable force that propels you forward toward your dreams. At first, it's all about discipline. Showing up even when you don't feel like it, making the tough choices, pushing through the discomfort. But eventually, those small, daily actions begin to compound. The momentum you've built gives you a level of power that's hard to describe. It's like you're riding a wave that you created yourself, and the world starts moving with you. Here's the beauty of momentum. Once you have it, you don't have to work as hard to keep it. The momentum does the heavy lifting for you. It carries you when you might feel exhausted, and it drives you even when things get tough. You find yourself in motion, no longer stuck in one place. Challenges that once seemed impossible suddenly become opportunities to keep the momentum going. The more you face, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. And here's where the magic happens. Because you're in motion, things begin to align around you. People start to notice. Opportunities start to open up. Doors you didn't even know existed begin to swing wide open. That's the power of momentum. But here's what most people miss. Momentum doesn't come without effort. You must first commit to the process. You must choose to challenge yourself every single day, even when it's hard, even when you don't see the immediate results. It's the small steps that add up. It's the hard choices that lay the foundation for success. And once you've built that momentum, you'll find that you no longer need to push so hard. The world will begin to respond to the energy you've created, and you'll find yourself making progress with more ease than ever before. So if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to create something great, then start today. Commit to challenging yourself. Take the first step, even if it's small. Trust that every effort you make is building momentum, because once you've got it, nothing and no one can stop you. So I ask you, what will you challenge yourself with today? Remember, growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you force yourself to step up, to do the work, and to face the discomfort. Challenge yourself every single day and watch as your life transforms. You have greatness inside you. It's time to unlock it.